Environmental health issues are of concern to schools across Canada. As schools focus on actions that will help improve student performance, the effects of a school's environment are receiving increased attention. Problems with ventilation systems, moisture, and mold can impact how students learn.
In addition, asthma is on the rise among school-age children, and indoor environmental problems often trigger asthma episodes. The Healthy School program is designed to prevent and solve the majority of basic environmental health problems in schools with minimal cost and effort.
Hello, I'm Terry Sega.
And I'm Rose Arsenault.
A healthy school environment, both indoors and out, contributes to a favorable learning environment to students, as well as a sense of comfort and well-being for all school occupants. The Healthy School program is an effective yet simple way to maintain or resolve your school's environmental health concerns.
In this video, we will be demonstrating a crucial part of the Healthy School program, the walkthrough of a building. In addition, we'll be sharing the experience of schools that have improved different aspects of their environment.
Now, the purpose of the school walkthrough is to become familiar with what could cause environmental health problems. The walkthrough is not intended to be intensive, but rather a quick overview. It's also an opportunity to identify quick fixes and to prioritize other work that needs to be done.
But before we start, let's talk about how your school can use the Healthy School program. Ideally, we recommend forming a team of 4 or 5 people. A good team might consist of a school administrator, a teacher, a custodian, and a parent. Your team might want to include a student at the middle or high school level. This way, all members of the school community are represented and feel they have a say in their school's environment. It's important to involve and educate the entire school community about the role of the team. This can be done through staff meetings, newsletters to parents, and at-home and school meetings.
Once the team has been assembled, the first order of business is to familiarize the team members about environmental health issues through the use of the Tools for Schools Action Kit.
The kit contains a series of survey forms, videos, a problem-solving wheel, detailed resource materials, along with the school walkthrough checklist.
Now, the next step is to distribute an initial school survey to all staff members to assess the types of concerns school occupants might have. Summarizing the survey results helps to highlight key issues or potential problem areas. Now, these findings could help form the focus of the school walkthrough.
Whether your school has an immediate concern with its environment or not, we recommend that the Healthy Schools Walkthrough Checklist be carried out once or twice a year to maintain your school's overall environment. The general walkthrough checklist is used to guide team members in an inspection in and around the school. The goal of the walkthrough checklist is to provide a clear and easy activity that helps identify, prevent, and resolve many indoor and outdoor environmental health problems.
After a school walkthrough, the team then consolidates the information into a list of short and long-term goals and develops an action plan to resolve their concerns. While most of the problems can be looked after in-house, some will require the assistance of the school district facilities personnel.
It is important to remember that the New Brunswick Department of Education has a protocol to follow when environmental health issues beyond the scope of this program are found.
Begin the walkthrough outside. You should be looking for anything that might affect the indoor air quality.
Consideration should include ventilation intakes, outdoor sources of pollution such as vehicle exhaust or pesticides, site drainage, holes in the building shell, and evidence of pests. Use the checklist to guide your inspection. A diagram of the school area and a floor plan of the school will be helpful too. You can take notes directly on them to avoid any confusion later.
Take note of any relevant observations. Keep garbage dumpsters, idling cars, trucks or delivery vehicles, and school buses away from doors, windows, or outdoor air intakes.
A good example of how outdoor air can affect a school's indoor air quality can be seen at Hampton Elementary School.
Last year we were approached by representatives from the New Brunswick Lung Association to take a look at how we could improve the air quality for our school. Being a very environmental conscious building already, we are participating in composting and recycling and having students be aware of making healthy choices as far as choosing proper snacks, and just to look at the air quality to see how we could make that a priority for us last year. So with the support of our district transportation manager and with the cooperation of Mr. Keith Morgan, the principal at Dr. Leatherbarrow School, we were able to come up with a plan to help reduce the idling of buses in our schoolyard. In our school, we have over 95% of our students who travel by bus, and we have 19 buses that travel through the schoolyard each and every day, both AM and PM. So by taking a look at this problem, we decided how could we work together to create a plan that would make sure that our school has a better air quality environment, in particular for the dismissal times after school. In a situation such as ours, we have a grades 3, 4, and 5 elementary students who attend English programs at our school, and a kindergarten grade 1 and 2 English programs at Dr. Leatherbarrow School. So the buses would proceed through an elaborate pattern of going from this schoolyard to the next schoolyard and through rotating back here, and they would sit for approximately 20 minutes, sometimes idling that entire time. And the children who they had picked up first could be on the buses for 20 minutes, being exposed to some of the fumes that would not be very healthy for them. So in speaking with our transportation supervisor, she agreed to work with our drivers and to come up with a plan to help get the engine shut off during the dismissal time. And it's been working very well in that it has reduced the amount of fumes in the air, but it has also reduced the amount of noise that we are exposed to as well in this area. I know for a duty teacher who's out here every day doing duty, that the students, when they are coming to the buses, seem to be a lot calmer and more quiet. And in fact, when the bus drivers do start their engines, it's almost a signal to the students that they do need to hurry and be on time for their buses. And I think in the reflecting on this particular program, it was important to note that as a school team, we were able to come up with a plan that really helped to reduce the air emissions that were in our school area.
We knew that it could be done, but there were a number of myths that the bus drivers and other people were under that led them to think that maybe the buses wouldn't start again if we shut them off, or if we were running the red lights to load the children, that the batteries would be dead, or that the windows would frost up and that kind of thing. So we had to work our way through all those type of myths, and when we were approached from Hampton Hill Elementary and Dr. Leatherbarrow, we started our pilot in November during the winter months of the year to actually see what the impact would be. And indeed the myths didn't materialize, and we were able to go with a district-wide shutdown policy in May of 2002.
Since introducing the no idling policy in School District 6, other districts in the province have developed no idling policies for school buses as well.
Parental vehicle idling can also be a concern, but can be easily addressed, as one school, Park Street Elementary School, found.
We got involved with the project of not idling through a couple of our grade 5 students. A few years ago, they had to do a project, and they did it on clean air and idling, and they were involved with the New Brunswick Lung Association, and we sort of jumped on board with their ideas, and we now promote no idling at our school. We are encouraging parents to drop off their children in a drop-off zone rather than have them park, leave their car idling, walk their children in, and come back out, and that seems to be working, and it's something we're going to continue to promote in years to come.
The same idea of outdoor activities impacting school indoor air also applies to painting, roofing, or maintenance jobs. You risk having pollutants entering the building and possibly affecting the occupants.
Repairs and renovations should be performed when students and staff are not at the school, ideally during school breaks or after hours.
Nearby traffic, blowing dust, and outdoor pollutants can also impact the school's environment in and out. School teams may want to consider a greening project to enhance and improve their outdoor environment.
One of the things with the location of Brunswick Street School is that we're on a very busy city intersection, and we do not have a lot of green space. And as a result of that, we decided to make it a focus of the school. And with the help of our Brunswick Community School Association, we looked at trying to make our school grounds a greener area, considering UV protection in more shaded areas, and looking at wind and sound reduction. The Playground Committee from the Community School Association did a lot of fundraising, and through that fundraising we were able to put in new equipment as well as purchase trees and have trees donated, which have since been planted and have developed more green spaces for us.
Sounds like a good idea. Now, are you ready to go in to do the interior inspection?
Let's go.
Continue the walkthrough inspection inside. Now you are looking for indications that the ventilation system is functioning, signs of moisture damage, evidence of pollutant sources like mold or housekeeping supplies, general cleanliness, or anything which might impact the air indoors.
Remember to use your checklist to guide your walkthrough and note any relevant observations on this sheet or on a floor plan of the school. Use your senses on the walkthrough. As soon as you enter a room, smell for any unique or objectionable odors. Your sense of smell has about 20 seconds to pick up strange odors before it becomes dull.
Is air flowing into and out of the room as designed? If not, the occupants will not have access to the fresh air that they should be getting on a regular basis.
Check the supply and exhaust vents and be sure that they are all free from blockage or obstruction. Oftentimes you'll find books and coats on top of a unit ventilator in a classroom. This practice should be discouraged.
Observe general cleanliness. Ask yourself if areas are generally clean and clutter-free, and is dust under control?
One way to address some clutter in the classroom and be environmentally friendly is to introduce recycling programs. This is what happened at Priestman Street Elementary School.
Through the knowledge that we gained with the Healthy Schools, we discovered that we were not being as environmentally friendly as we could be. So as a result of that, we have now begun paper recycling in each of the classrooms and areas in the school. Each area has their own recycling box, which when full is brought down to the larger dumpster for them to be emptied into, where the Solid Waste Commission comes and picks those up. In addition to that, we are very actively involved in beverage recycling. We are fortunate in that we are able to have ours taken down to the recycling weekly, but if you should be in a situation where that's not possible, I recommend that your recycling club or group that are actively involved in this take on the responsibility of rinsing the containers as they are collected.
Yes, recycling programs can be valuable. Let's continue our walkthrough.
Look for pollutant sources such as mold and mildew. Check the ceiling tiles and other areas for signs of water damage. Caution should be taken to prevent disturbing mold and releasing particles into the air. Listen to the concerns of school occupants regarding indoor air quality. Do they provide clues to problems such as turning off unit ventilators because they are too noisy during class time? Or are there computers and televisions that emit heat located near the sensors? In these instances, these devices can provide a false reading of the room temperature.
Let's check the washrooms and general plumbing area and make sure that the exhaust fans are operating.
Be sure that all drains have traps and are filled with water. These include ones in unused areas where they may be covered over for one reason or another.
Drain traps can cause indoor air quality problems when the water in them evaporates due to infrequent use. If the building interior is under negative pressure, soil or sewer gas can be drawn indoors through a dry drain trap.
Our next task is checking maintenance supplies. Maintenance supplies may emit air contaminants during use and storage. Any odorous or hazardous chemical should be used when a building is unoccupied and with adequate outdoor ventilation.
Check contents of products using MSD sheets, material safety data sheets, available from suppliers or your facility personnel. Occupants can have a variety of reactions to hazardous chemicals ranging from headaches, nausea, and eye irritation to more serious health effects. For this reason, air should be exhausted from chemical and trash storage areas such as a custodian's closet to avoid exposure to these pollutants.
Also, don't forget chemicals or other materials in science labs, art classrooms, and industrial arts areas. Ensure that materials are clearly labeled, stored correctly, and that there is adequate ventilation.
Don't forget that personal care products, along with air fresheners and some school supplies, such as correction fluids, markers, and art supplies, can also impact school occupants.
Regis Vautour, a teacher at Sussex Corner Elementary School, knows personally the impact of scented products.
When I came to this school 3 years ago, I was very sensitive to any type of scent that was present in my surroundings, and as a result, coming back to the school, coming back to an environment where you're dealing with a lot of people certainly presented some issues. Unlike somebody who has a broken leg and a cast to show, environmental allergies is basically it's the air that's around you, and it's whatever is stirred in the air by people around you, by natural agents around you that cause the infliction. One of the things that I found was that once the students in my classroom became aware of the situation and how highly sensitive I was, and after seeing that I had to leave the classroom and go home, they very quickly got on board and would come in the next day or whenever they came in, they would say, well, today I got this, it's new, it has a different scent to it, is it going to bother you?
As a result of the impact of scented products, a number of schools have now implemented scent-free policies. Scent-free signs available from the Lung Association serve as a useful reminder.
Sounds like a good idea. Shall we continue our walkthrough?
Sure. In the kitchen, take notice of odors such as natural gas or cooking odors. Visually, check exhaust components. Are kitchen range exhaust hoods vented properly? If not, air may be pulled or backdrafted down the flue, bringing gases or odors into the indoors instead of exhausting them outside.
Another point to keep in mind is whether or not your school was built before 1980. Check to see if the paint is peeling or flaking. Children, and especially pregnant women, should not be exposed to lead dust particles during renovation. Lead poisoning can affect children's developing nervous systems, causing learning disabilities and reduced IQ.
Whether your school team is initiating the Healthy School program for the first time or in the midst of the process, you should feel comfortable contacting schools that have successfully implemented the program as a resource.
Let's take a look at Priestman Street School, a typical elementary school in Fredericton. It has a student population of 455 and a staff of 48.
It is also a school that has had air quality concerns in the past, but thanks to the Healthy School program, the school now has its own environmental health team and is confident to approach any environmental issues that might happen in the future.
The value of the Healthy School program is that it helps a school identify and solve concerns that they may have about the quality of air or other health issues in a school building. It's a low-tech program, which means that you do not have to be an environmental engineer in order to carry out the program. It requires minimal training on the part of those members who agree to be on the team. It can help a school-wide issue. In our particular case, we had some air quality concerns that we were interested in having addressed, and that was the mainstay in developing the school-based team. There's very low or minimal cost in administering the program, and it can help on a yearly basis help schools address issues that they have within their building.
The school's environmental team was put to the test when one teacher felt that the air quality in her classroom was affecting her health. Let's see what the team did to address her concerns.
Well, we did have a classroom teacher who had a concern about the indoor air quality in her room. So we had the school-based team visit her room to do an independent check for causes and possible problems within her room. As a result of their investigation, they felt that classroom clutter and dust buildup on the clutter was a potential problem. The teacher had flowers in the room, and they were concerned about the possible contaminants in the soil. The classroom had a sink, and the drain was not properly draining due to a plugging of it. The ventilation system was considered a possible concern area. And again, this particular classroom, the paint had not sealed correctly, and there was a lot of paint chipping involved. Once the team had identified these causes or problems, they then looked at possible solutions and made recommendations. They looked at clearing up the clutter, doing a thorough cleaning and dusting, having the plants removed, thereby removing the soil from the classroom. They looked at the ventilation system and having that cleaned out and the filters replaced, and also removing the block in the drain. Another issue was damp mops being stored across the hall from the classroom, and they were stored in another area. So basically the team was able to go in, make an assessment, make recommendations, and for a low cost situation, they were able to come up with a number of solutions which satisfied both the classroom teacher and those who have to pay the bills.
As you can see, the school walkthrough checklist helped the team to resolve one teacher's air quality concerns.
Today we have seen the usefulness of the Healthy School Program's walkthrough checklist.
We've shown you what to look for during your initial walkthrough, and we've shown you some real school situations that illustrate how the Healthy School Program can be used to help you maintain and improve your overall school environment.
For more information on the Healthy School Program, please visit our website at www.nb.lung.ca/schools. Or you can call us toll-free at 1-888-566-LUNG.